Hello everyone, this is Zhang Jiale, which is from College of Business and Public Management in Wenzhou University, which is from Zhejiang Province. The title of this paper is Ownership Concentration and Firm Performance of Chinese Financial Companies. For the instruction, there will be three main ideas. Ownership concentration with company performance in financial companies. Ownership concentration might have positive monetary function, so it is important to focus these two terms. For the second and third, ownership concentration with company performance during COVID-19 epidemic and between different nature of equity. Does the COVID-19 epidemic adversely affect ownership concentration on company performance? Does the nature of equity affect the relationship? For the definition, I define there are two. For the first, it is the Federal-Hirschman Index. It is the sum of squares of the top 10 shareholders' shareholdings. For the COVID-19 epidemic dummy, it is the time which is after 2019. For the lecture review, ownership concentration is associated with less effective use of financial resources. Firm performance may be influenced by the role of liability structure variables. Change in the concentration of the equity structure can lead to a decrease in the profitability. According to Kim in 2019, higher ownership concentration in countries with low confidence quality will also reduce the risk insolvency. So it seems that there are different opinions during the Federal Index and firm performance. For the hypothesis, there are three main hypotheses all about the performance difference between different ownership concentration. For the hypothesis 1, ownership concentration has a positive impact on financial firm performance. For the hypothesis 2, the positive impact on the ownership concentration on firm performance weakened during the COVID-19 epidemic. For the hypothesis 3, the nature of equity has a significant relationship during the Federal Hirschman Index and corporate performance. For the data source, all the data is from China stock market and accounting research. The sample period is between 2010 to 2021. The frequency is quarterly. For the sample selection, I select the companies with the objectives of financial companies, stable growth, accumulated assets, and the company listing time. For the variables, there are Federal Hirschman Index, the number of shareholders, firm size, growth rate, and firm age. There are three main methods to measure the Federal Hirschman Index. Her Federal Hirschman Index is the sum of the scores of top 10 shareholders' shareholdings, and the COVID-19 dummy is equal to 1 if the year is after 2019, and the nature of equity dummy is equal to 1 if it is the stated ownership enterprises. For the firm performance measure, there are two main methods, the OLS models and the OLS models with dummies. For the result, you can see that the mean of the Federal Hirschman Index is 0.166, and the most significant dependent variable is the Tobin's Q, which is 0.773. For the main regression result, we can see there is a significant relationship between the Federal Index and the Tobin's Q, which is 0.804. Although there is a significant relationship between the ROE and the Federal Hashima index, but the number is too small, so maybe we can ignore it. For the COVID-19 and phone performance, we can see that the COVID-19 is a significant relationship between the topping skew, which is minus 0.183, and for the COVID-19 multiple Herford index, there is no meaningful because there is no significant. But from the last result, we can know that the COVID-19 will weaken the performance. For the random effect, to to make the results more reliable, so we use the random effect. We can say that it is also significant with the Herford index and the topic skew, which is 0.662, and the COVID-19, which is minus 0.156, which supports our result before. So the first and the second hypothesis seems to be true. For the regression of the state ownership enterprise and non-state ownership enterprise, we can see that the state-owned enterprise is significant with her federal index, which is 0.358, but for the non-state ownership, it is 0.044, but the relationship is not significant. We assume that it is due to that it is because there is no sufficient samples, which is only 428. But for the third volume, we can see that that is significant with the federal Hashima index multiple nature of equity. So we can know that there is a significant relationship between the nature of equity and her federal index, but we cannot prove that the state-owned ownership enterprise is more associated than the non-state ownership enterprise. So we need to continue working on this field. And for the conclusion, companies generally decline in performance after 2019. Ownership concentration significantly improves firm performance, but after 2019, which is the COVID-19 epidemic, harm concentration after on companies' performance. The results support both. For the hypothesis 1, when the concentration of top 10 ownership increase, the performance of the firms will increase. But during the COVID-19 epidemic, when the concentration increase, the performance will also increase, but the number will smaller than the time before 2019. For the nature of equity, we can know that there is a significant relationship between the nature of equity and the Herford Hashima index and firm performance.